Hello there and welcome to Trains, Planes and Automobiles. Right, what I'll be talking about today is the 1945 HMS TABARD patrol submarine. Quite a cool name that is, the HMS TABARD. Basically a tabard's what a woman wears when cleaning and stuff like that, so quite a amusing name. Anyway, the HMS TABARD, a last of the Royal Navy's T-class submarines, which were built in considerable numbers in 3 distinct batches between the mid-1930s and at the end of the Second World War. The T-class submarines, the original T's, whose lead boat was HMS Triton, launched in October 1937, had half-inch pressure plating and riveted frames, and they were good for a depth of 300 feet or 91.5 metres. This was improved progressively until most of the third batch, the first boat of which was the HMS Thurl, was begun in 1941, had welded 3/4 inch plating and welded frames, which allowed them to operate down to 400 feet. They also had greatly increased fuel capacity thanks to the addition of external tanks. HMS TABARD was the last boat of the class, built by Scots. She was begun on the September 1944, launched on the 21st of November 1945, and entered service on June 1946. She was sold for breaking in 1968. The T-class submarines were saddle tank types and were chosen as the standard for long-range patrol submarines over the double-hulled Thames class and the similar, slightly smaller porpoises. This was in spite of the fact that their performance was markedly inferior. Their deciding factor was that they were considerably cheaper to produce. The external torpedo tubes were all aft of the conning tower, 2 at the very stern and 2 amidships, and in all were aft firing and could not be reloaded. There was 1 reload for each of the internal forwarding firing tubes located in the bow. 3 boats of the third group were transferred to the Netherlands during the Second World War, and 3 went to Israel in the 1960s. 1 was lost with all hands en route. The other 2 stayed in service, much modernised until the mid-1970s. Sorry, I got a little bit lost in the middle of all that. Right, she was a patrol submarine. She had a 2-shaft, 2 diesels producing 2,500 bhp plus 2 electric motors producing 1,450 shp. She had a length of 83.4 metres or 273.5 feet. She had a beam or width of 8.1 metres or 26.5 feet. She had a weight as standard as 1,090 tonnes or fully loaded 1,570 tonnes. She had 61 staff, a speed of 15.5 knots surfaced or 9 knots submerged. So whilst she was fast for her time compared to the other ships in modern day submarine, she was pretty slow. She had a range at 10 knots serviced of 11,000 miles, and she was faster than the Argonaut of the USA or the U-123 of Germany. So she was a pretty cool World War II patrol boat, actually. So that was the HMS TABARD with the silly name. Thanks for listening, watching the pictures, and sorry I got a little bit lost speaking. Some of these submarines have weird names. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.